Die. Oh, hey, y'all. We were talking about dying. Zombie Wild.
Yes.
Second episode, Tales Unlocked. Woo! So, I'm your host. Well, one of the hosts. I can only be one of the hosts because there's a full hosting going on. I'm Rico. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed yourself last time. You better have because you're here again. Too bad. Whatever. I'm here to help you all through Tales Unlocked with Tales of Us, unlocking games, history, marginalized stories, and all these things, and journeys, and zombies, and crazy stuff, but like all crazy stuff. But not only me, let's introduce. Pow!
Hi, everyone. I'm Taina. So nice to be here again. I'm a creative producer at Tales of Us. Actually, Rico and me were just saying, like, how fast would one die in the face of apocalypse? But we'll extend on that so you get to know us a little bit better throughout that topic.
I'll go third. I don't think I'll be the first one to die, but I think I'll be the third one to die because the first one would be somebody else.
Me.
The second one would be somebody I don't know. I would push out the way.
You never know what comes out in the light of pressure, you know? We're both working at Tales of Us. Tales of Us is a multimedia project that is focused on bridging marginalized narratives and ecological lessons through interactive media. And we're currently working on a project for kids. And the project is focusing on places of great ecological importance in areas in Congo, Brazil, and Romania at the moment, where we're gathering a lot of mythologies, working with local researchers, makers, activists, kids, doing lots of different types of projects and programs. And we decided to do this Twitch show together to explore some of the topics that we're interested in, and hopefully you are as well. So here we are.
And so if you remember from last time, we played, I almost forgot the title. Never Alone, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Last time we played Never Alone, which was a side-scrolling platform about the indigenous people of the Inuit tribe in Alaska. And we went through conversations about history, marginalized narratives of indigenous people, things like that. And it was very, very like healthy, very, very hearty, very, very like complex, but rewarding. If I felt like it was a rewarding conversation.
Yeah.
This time though, it's getting nasty. Like, so we're going to be playing, if you can't see the title, Telltale's The Walking Dead. That's the sound that zombies will make in this post-future. I want to read a little intro about the game first, like we did last time with Never Alone. And then Taina's going to be jumping into playing it, and I'm going to be her support emotionally, mentally.
Emotionally is necessary. I'm not one for scary things, so.
Disclaimer, this game is very, very violent, very, very like harsh, very, very in your face. But the important conversations that we will go through in this game are like wide and varying. But let me read the intro of the game for you first so you can just get an idea of it. Okay, so Walking Dead Telltales is an episodic adventure video game developed and published by Telltale's Games. It was the first in a series consisting of 4 seasons and a spin-off one. The Walking Dead it's based off the Walking Dead comic book series, and the game consists of 5 episodes released in April and November, between April and November of 2012. It's won, and the award list is like long. The VGX Award for Best Performance by Human Female, the VGX Award for Game of the Year, the BAFTA Award for Game of the Year, the BAFTA Award for Game of Story of the Year, the VGX Award in 2012 again for the studio, Best Studio, and the VGX Award for the Best Adapted and the VGX Award for the Best Downloadable Game. So it's highly acclaimed. And in choosing this game, there are a couple reasons that we'll go through why we chose this game and why I felt it was important for us to delve into such a game that's so gritty. In various conversations, not only around being marginalized in terms of one's racial identifications, but conversations around childhood in non-normative families units, also conversations around incarceration and discrimination against people who are felons. And these are very, very, very real topics. Like all over the world, but also the conversation of inclusivity when it comes to game development is very, very important. So enough of me chatterboxing. It's time for you to die. I hope you don't, though, because we need to get through it.
Okay. And when we start the game, they'll give us the context of the story and stuff, right?
Yeah. So
exciting.
we'll be taking along for a ride with dead people.
Okay,
and
let's get it
dead
going.
things. So press A.
I did it.
I did.
Game one.
Go do new game.
New game.
I did it. We're going to do the standard because the manual one does like, it makes you like figure out everything. We're going to do episode 1, A New Day.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. This is all new to me. Do they always make these type of games where you choose the narratives? Okay.
Another good shout of a game is Wolf Among Us, which is also made by them, which is really great too. But this one is a hit.
Starts with a sunny day.
It's always sunny until shit goes bad.
Well, I reckon you didn't do it then.
Go. Press A.
Why do you say that?
You know, I've driven a bunch of fellas down to this prison. Lord knows how many.
And so use your left
Usually it's
cursor
about
to look
now
around
I get the, I didn't do it.
when that reticle comes up, but you can answer how you want to now.
Not from me.
Because guys in your position already said it enough.
So right sticks take a look around. I see.
Yeah. So that reticle will let you just look at things and click on them in the world. But you see how it pops up with options? You can press Y.
Because
I
then I'm
followed
looking
your
in.
case a little bit. You being a Macon boy and all.
What's Macon?
It's in Georgia.
Ah, okay.
It's not every day a fella from Bibb County goes off and kills a state senator. That's for sure.
Oh, he killed a state senator. Doesn't start great.
Eyes on the road, Tate.
I got a nephew up at UGA. You teach there long?
Going on my 6th year.
You meet your wife in Athens? You want to know how I see it?
I got much choice?
Sure don't.
Okay.
Was I too cheeky?
I want to see if you're like mean as me.
Maybe you just married the wrong woman.
Oh.
Oh. But I don't get it. Why did he marry the wrong woman?
An incident happened before this with his significant other, but they'll divulge more of it later.
I'm driving this man once. He was the worst one. He wouldn't stop going on about how he didn't do it. He was an older fella, big soft eyes behind a pair of smart folk glasses. And he just wailing back there. Says it wasn't him. Crying and snotting all over right where you're sitting.
His accents are so...
Then before long, he starts kicking the back of the seat like a fussy baby on an airplane. And I tell him he's got to stop. That's government property, and I'll be forced to zap him otherwise. So he stops, and having exhausted all his options, he starts crying out for his mama. Mama, it's all a big mistake. It wasn't me.
Maybe he was innocent.
Innocent? They caught the fucker red-handed. stabbing his wife, cutting her up as the boys came through the door. He sits in my car screaming bloody murder that it wasn't him. I think he actually believed it himself. It goes to show, people will up and go mad when they believe their life is over. I got another good one for you. This one's a little bit less depressing and a bit more hilarious, if I do say so.
Oh! Oh no! It already starts now? Gotta have another moment.
It's okay.
How do I hit and shoot stuff? Oh my god.
How do I?
Oh no.
How do I? It's okay. Don't worry.
I never liked scary things.
It's okay.
Okay.
You're so stressed out. It's okay.
Okay, it's still in the movie part.
That's the thing about it. It's movie and gameplay integrated, so you're never safe in the movie.
That's interesting. I don't, as you say, as you know, I haven't gamed much, but I didn't know much of these type of structures.
Yeah, it's basically a movie. So look,
Oh God.
go to the left, go down a little bit. Now you see those points. Go look at the
Oh,
officer.
my coordination. I'm going to die
It's okay.
so quickly.
It's okay. Look at the officer. Look at the officer. Turn to the left. Yeah. Oh, wait. I didn't see that one when I played. Go. Yeah. Press A.
Kick window.
Oh. That's different. So I just looked directly to the officer and everything. I waited to kick out the window.
Oh God, my coordination is so bad.
Okay. Press the left one to move up. Yeah. Now press A.
Oh, use the hand icon to haul yourself out. Okay.
Yeah. You got it.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
good.
unless there's like 15 zombies like coming at me. They're gonna be watching me fumble and kill me right away.
Kind of like Burkine.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh snap.
So move forward with the left thumbstick.
Ouchie, I'm hurt. I need to get out of these handcuffs.
And move over towards the officer.
Oh no, this music is not helping.
Okay, I'm here.
Last time's game was so cute.
Got real quick, didn't it? Now, the keys are right there.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Take keys.
there you go. Press A. Pick them up.
Oh. Oh no, I have to get. Oh no.
Pick them up. You can do it. You got it.
Oh.
Now, look back down at your handcuffs. Yeah. You got it, yeah.
Nice.
Now, I'll give you a little cheat. Look at the handcuffs again. There's a shotgun near where he passed out.
Oh God.
Back up, back up, back up. Just keep backing up. Back up. Back up. Now, look at the shotgun shell. Oh, yeah. Look at it. Press A. Press A. Press A. You got it. Now you need to pick up the shotgun. Pick up the shotgun. There. Yeah. Press A. Press A. You got it. 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 You're almost there. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh,
Pick it up
God,
again.
no.
Pick it up again.
Oh no. I don't like this.
Now aim. Be careful. Aim.
Oh.
I died the first time.
Okay.
Level 1.
Okay, we have 2 hours to go. I have to pick up myself. Oh God. Okay.
Look
So,
you see up there?
do I want to do something with this?
You can if you want to. Press A.
But does that mean I go there?
Because look up in the forest. You see it?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the little girl.
Press A. Yeah, you just press A on it. Oh no, I think you press Y.
Help!
Oh, because it's not showing
Go get
you
someone.
when the color's at the top. It's at the position of the buttons.
Okay.
Yeah. You're safe for a little while right now.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not?
Don't worry, this is a scripted event.
Oh, okay. I can't do anything right now.
Yeah, you can't do
Okay.
anything.
Oh,
right now.
God, this is making me so tense. My leg is broken.
Are you gonna see what's happening?
I swear, I think I would die so fast or something like that. I would just curl up in a ball and
You
be like,
say that, but
"No."
when your adrenaline is pumping,
You go. You're
go.
right.
Now remember that blending between cinematic and action place. You feel safe because you're in a movie like that.
Yeah.
But you never know when they cross over into that interactive space.
I guess zombies can't climb. Oh, they can. Oh, God.
Not you pointing out the plot holes.
And my leg is broken. This
Yeah,
is
my
not
leg is
okay.
broken.
I'm not good. What's my name?
He'll tell you his name
Okay.
soon.
Very curious to hear your thoughts a bit later once I'm settled in. on like we're talking about representation and stuff, right? And it starts off
Yeah.
really like,
Hello?
right?
Anybody?
Hardcore. So just move around. I know you're safe for a little while. You're safe. Don't worry, child. You're safe. You're doing some really different stuff that I didn't do.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm also really not great at the controls.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not getting up there anyway. This leg the way it
So put your
is.
cursor on it one more time, and I'll explain this real quick. So you see how the things are positioned there,
Yeah.
allocated to those.
Now I got it. Yeah.
You're doing some really different stuff.
Yeah.
Help! Anybody up there?
I didn't go to the tree. Yeah.
No ladder. I'm not getting up there anyway.
No,
This
I
leg
already
the way
did
it
that.
is.
So then turn around with the left thumbstick. Yeah. And you can try the house. Oh, but you got to walk up there. With your broken leg, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Somebody! Yell if you can hear me!
Oh, do I want to go in there?
You gotta.
Oh.
Ain't nowhere else to go.
Hello? Anybody home? I need a little help.
Open the door, yeah.
Oh. You saw how I genuinely freaked out the first moment.
Okay?
I told you. I'm scared of this stuff.
I feel like we should have had your workload light this
Not an
week.
intruder. Or one of them.
These people might need more help than I do.
So I nicknamed this game also Falling Dead because you fall a lot, and just be aware of that. So walk into the house some more.
Okay, okay. That's a clue.
Hmm.
Oh God, there's blood everywhere. No, I don't need to watch that. I get it. Oh no.
Falling Dead. We should have something to drink every time you
no.
fall in this game and just
Oh, that's
fall.
gross.
fall. You need to go to the answering machine.
The answering machine.
What's that beeping?
No.
And you see how he gives you little clues like, what's that beeping? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
What's that? Hello? I like the animation style. Makes me think of this movie, Waking Life, you know?
Waking life? Ooh. It's kind of reminiscent of like
This
cell
place has
shading
been
as a
ransacked.
technique too,
Just about
which was
anything worthwhile is
popularized in
gone.
games like Jet Set Radio and stuff, to give a cartoonish look to something, but very, very
There are 3
real.
new messages.
Okay, I need to go to the answering machine.
You getting coffee and water and
I'm taking every chill I can get. Like, oh God. Okay, answering machine are not there.
So go back out of the kitchen.
Am I
think
gonna
you
fall
might-
again
yeah.
on the blood?
It's falling dead. You're just gonna fall a lot. It's okay. Oh, not this time, but go to the left. And
There we are.
Yeah, there we go. It's also kind of dark on the screen too.
Yeah.
3 new messages. Message 1 left at 5:43 p.m.
Hey, Sandra, this is Diana. We're still in Savannah. Ed had a little incident with some crazy guy near the hotel, so we had to get him back to the ER and have it checked out. Anyway, he's not feeling well enough to drive back tonight, so we're staying an extra day. Thanks so much for looking after Clementine, and I promise we'll be back in time before your spring break.
Message 2 left at 11:19 p.m.
Oh my God, finally. I don't know if you tried to reach us. All the calls are getting dropped. They're not letting us leave and aren't telling us anything about Atlanta. Please, please, just leave the city and take Clementine with you back to Murrieta. I've got to get back to the hospital. Please let me know that you're safe.
Message 3 left at 6:51 a.m.
Clementine, baby. If you can hear this, call the police. That's 911. We love you. We love you. We love you.
So a lot of let her talk real quick. This place takes place in Georgia, so they're in Atlanta. They're outside of Atlanta right now.
You need to be quiet.
Who is this?
I'm Clementine. This is my house.
Hi, Clementine. I'm Lee.
You're not my daddy.
No, I'm not.
Just time to breathe.
How old are you?
8.
And you're all alone?
Yes. I don't know where anybody is. How old are you?
I'm, 37.
Okay.
That used to be old, right?
Where are your parents?
The new young.
Left me with Sandra. They're in Savannah, I think. Where the boats are?
Where are you?
I'm outside in my treehouse. They can't get in.
That's smart.
Get ready.
See? Can you see me? I can
Oh,
see you
no.
through the window.
I just want to age you, but I feel like I'm scaring you. Okay, both his leg. Press A. Press A. Press it. Press it like crazy. Press it. Press it. Now. Press it again.
I'm pressing. Oh, God.
Now B. Good. Now. Falling down. Look up. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
Yeah.
Press A. Kick her in the face. Get off. You can do it. Falling dead. Look at it. Damn. I can punch her. I can punch her. Look, get A. Press A like crazy. Smash that A in. Smash it in. Smash it in. Smash it in. X. Good.
Oh, God.
Now look at her. Look at Clementine. Look at Clementine. Look at Clementine. Press A. Press A. Press A. Press A. Look at Clementine. Look at her. Press A. Press A. Get ready. Go. Go. Go.
Go on.
Go. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her, Taina. Go. Go.
This is really not for me.
So,
Jesus Christ. Oh,
what's really good about this game is they have you in these very somber moments.
Did you kill it?
But then they jump you in.
Yes.
It's okay. I think she was a monster.
I think so too. You've been all by yourself through this?
Clementine will
Yeah,
remember that.
I want my parents to come home now.
Choices stick with these people. Yeah,
I think that might be a little
like in
while,
real life. Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Look, I don't know what happened, but I'll look after you until then.
what should we do now?
What were you saying?
Oh God, the sun goes down. I don't want to be outside in the dark.
Interesting.
You need to find help before it gets dark.
Oh no.
I did the same. I did the same.
You made wrong choices.
No, I made wrong choices about the people. I hated them sometimes.
Stay close to me.
Oh God.
So, press. Pause it right here for a second. Press the pause button.
Which one is this?
The one right here.
Ah.
Just breathe real quick.
Okay. But so there are wrong choices. That's interesting.
So there are choices that will stick with the characters in which you will make. You will have to side with some people. And so you choose who you want to side with, but that person will remember that choice of who you sided with when you meet other people later. So when it's said Clementine will remember this, she'll remember that you told her, like, you know, like, oh, we need to leave at this time, or like, my name is Lee. Like, because you can also choose to divulge the truth of who you are to the people that you meet. Because if you remember in the beginning, the protagonist's name is Lee. He was the back in the cop car because he was going to jail. And this identification of incarceration or being a felon follows him through every choice that he makes with all these players. Whether you tell people the truth if you've been going to jail, or you lie to them about you going to jail. Because either way that you do it, it has ramifications to the people around you. So just be aware that those type of things will all carry along with you no matter what
and
you
if
say.
I decide to lie to another person, Clementine will know.
You're
I'm
going to get
lying.
caught up?
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so there are other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So resume right now. We're going to play Kirby next time.
Yes,
or
please.
Mario.
Yes.
So walk out. Oh, she ran off.
Oh, I have to walk like that. I'm still fumbling with the
Your leg?
controls.
Oh, yeah.
So
the
then-
left thumbstick is your main thing to move, and the right is just to look around with the cursor. Just remember that
Are we
one.
gonna open the gate? Really? Did I make the right choice?
You made the right choice. I think you made the right choice. Because when it gets dark time.
Well, these are humans.
I ain't never getting home to Mama at this rate.
This sucks.
Oh, it's hot this night.
Well, we're in the south of the states, right?
Yeah. And the characterization of Southern people in this is a little bit kind of like hit and miss sometimes, but it's very, very much a part of the conversation of like racial disparities,
What's the
incarceration, and stuff
Should
like
I
that as well
stay?
too.
What?
I don't want to sleep in the treehouse tonight, but I don't know if I should leave. What if my parents come home?
I won't leave you alone.
Ooh, Diana. I told the
Let's go
truth.
somewhere safe that's close, okay?
That's a good idea.
They seem very chill, these two.
Holy shit!
These two?
Don't
Yeah.
eat us! We're not gonna hurt you.
Phew. Thought for a second you and the little one were both gonna give us the chomp.
We need help.
Are you trying to get out of here? Because you should be. Those things are all over the damn place. I haven't seen anything as gnarly as this neighborhood since downtown Atlanta, 15 miles back. I'm Sean. Sean Green.
Lee, this is Clementine.
I'm Chet.
We shouldn't be out in the open like this. How about you help us clear the way, and we'll take you and your daughter out of here and down to my family's farm. It should be safer there.
I'm not her dad. I'm a neighbor. Her parents are out of town.
You lied.
Let's get going. Staying put for too long is a mistake.
You lied, Diana.
What do you want to do?
Your monster's coming.
Get ready.
We gotta go.
Oh, no.
This is not that bad of a
Okay.
thing. Let's go. You just gotta get ready. Yep. Look at the car, and then yep, press it. Do it again. Yep. You got it. Clementine, we're gonna help you out. Do it one more time. I think you have to. One more time. Oh no, you good. Don't worry. You did good.
Oh.
Another thing that's going to be really important to understand about this game too, in
What are
terms
those guys,
of
neighbors too?
we'll let them finish. The representation is the idea of blended families or non-normative families as well too. Lee and Clementine will be constantly questioned about their relationship, and they'll be constantly reinforced that this isn't normal. Like, so he's always, who are you to this girl? They'll even ask at one point in front of her, are you safe with this man? Because they don't seem like a normal family. If you choose to tell the truth that that's not your child. But if you lie about it, which I didn't do.
Hey, Sean, I'm gonna run on home. My mama's gonna be in a snit.
No sweat, man. I'll catch you tomorrow night.
It was nice to meet you both.
I guess.
Thank God you're okay.
It's really a lot of
I
like
was worried it'd be bad
movie,
here, too.
more than I would
Quiet as
imagine.
usual the
Yes,
past
it's
couple
very,
days.
very much. Telltale
Reckon down the
is
way,
famous
things
for this
Mary's
kind of
gonna
style
lean,
of video game
I wouldn't
storytelling.
have made it back without
Adopted
you.
from like old point and
Well,
click
I'm glad you
games where
took
you used
them
to
with you
click,
then.
go here,
Yeah.
like mystery games.
But
they
it's like
kind
more
brought a couple
cinematic than
guests.
game almost.
yes, it blurs the lines very much.
We need a place to stay. I
We
guess.
you
need a
damn
place
sure?
to stay.
You're welcome to stay here, but just for the night. I don't run a bed and breakfast. So it's just
didn't
you
say
and
that
your
when you
daughter
were
then.
Oh, not his daughter. He was her neighbor.
Oh.
Honey, do you know this man?
See?
Yes.
Okay then. Well, looks like you hurt your leg pretty bad there.
Yeah, it's not doing so good.
I can help you out. Sean, run on in and check on your sister. You, take a seat up on the porch and I'll go see what I have.
Ava's asking if lies have consequences in the game.
They do have consequences in the game because if you lie about something and they figure out, the trust of that character kind of falls.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
I'm all stressed out. I feel so silly.
Could be worse.
That's what it sounds like. Seems like things got awful bad in the cities. What did you say your name was?
It's Lee.
Nice to meet you, Lee. I'm Herschel Green.
See, he knows your name now.
Well, he's letting me stay in his house.
How'd this happen?
Might as well tell the truth.
Car accident.
That's so. Where are you headed before the car accident?
Just out for a drive.
Oh, I said just out. I'm just out for a drive.
We hit a guy. One of those things you've been hearing about.
You know?
I said just out. I didn't know just out for a drive. I said just out.
I was with a police officer.
Oh.
He was giving me a ride.
Oh,
Nice of him.
I'm an
He
awful
covered it
nice
up.
guy.
House is full up with mine. We got another displaced family of 3 sleeping in the barn. You and your daughter are welcome to rest there when we're done here.
He
I
knows.
didn't catch your name, darling.
Clementine.
Can't imagine what you've been through, Clementine.
Looking after her until we find her parents.
Hey, Dad. So I'm thinking, first thing tomorrow, we gotta reinforce the fence around the farm.
That doesn't seem necessary.
here's an important choice.
I don't know what you saw on TV or heard on the radio, but there's some serious shit hitting the fan. I don't think anyone knows how big it is yet.
Your son's right. You're going to want to fortify this place.
Stuff like that doesn't happen around here, Sean.
Dad, I'm serious. Lee, come on. Tell him what you saw out there, man.
I got chased by a couple of dead people.
Well, do what you think you should. We got plenty of chores as it is.
Lee and those folks in the barn can help out in the morning. We gotta do it. Really.
I already said okay. Well, I'm all done here. It should start to feel better tomorrow.
Thanks.
If your leg gets hot or the swelling doesn't go down, you're probably dealing with an infection.
What do we do then?
We'll probably just have to shoot you. We'll clean it, redress it, and you'll be fine.
Okay, that'd be preferable.
There's blankets and such in the barn. We'll be seeing you bright and early. Come tomorrow, which way you think you're headed?
Towards Macon, I suppose. All right, then.
After this, we'll pause, and I want us to watch a clip of the development team to get some information on it as well, too.
Manure.
Nobody says shit. Why are we afraid to say that?
Just like that.
When a horse plops.
Yeah.
I miss
Plop,
my
plop.
mom and dad.
Plop, plop.
I bet, Clem.
How far is Savannah?
Pretty far.
Oh, okay.
So pause it right here.
I would not be able to sleep.
Let's watch a video from the development team that's just packaged into the definitive edition, I believe, where they talk about the overview of the game and the creative process of it real too, because it will give us some more context to understand it as a full body of work as well too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blood and gore. Yes, that's right.
We're gonna play like Mario after this.
I want to play a game where you get more points for cuddling. No, it's interesting though. The structure of the game is
Well,
very.
we started Telltale because we wanted to make television-style video games. We wanted to make things that were really dramatic and full of awesome characters.
When we set out to build episodes, it really was for us a lot about, wow, this is a lot like what TV does, and we can do cliffhangers and we can keep people engaged over time.
Our core mechanic is in the investment in these characters. It's about how to tell a story and let the player take ownership of their part in this story.
The Telltale ethos is kind of baked right into the name of the company. They're storytellers.
When we're looking for licenses, we always try to start out and think, you know, what's something that we're all
Oh, I think we lost.
really cool, unique world where we feel like there's a lot of great opportunities for great stories.
We're at a really cool position to be able to point at things that we really dig and say, we want to work on that. We want to do something with that.
We've done a lot of comedy, a lot of lightheartedness, and to kind of force our hand to do something
And
that was
jiggle
more
your
adult.
joystick just to make sure it stays awake too.
Good direction to challenge us.
We had a lot of fans of the Walking Dead comic books in the studio. You know, it just seemed natural to reach out directly.
I never knew it was a
to kind
comic
of the
book.
Yeah,
creative
so
source of this
that's the
material
creator,
and go from there.
As I understand it, Robert, I think, was just pleased and relieved, as all storytellers together, you know, the Telltale guys and Robert, I think they were all speaking the same language from day one.
The thing that's important about The Walking Dead is that, you know, it has heart and it has drama, and it's about people surviving in this world, and it's about how they deal with the end of the world and how they interact with other people and what that does to a person.
Being able to pitch them a brand new character with a brand new story, but still keep the themes that he's worked so hard and over so many books to really explore was like a great experience. He was really receptive to that.
That's what appealed to me about Telltale. You know, you can play Left 4 Dead, you know, you can play Dead Rising, you can play Resident Evil. Those are all great games, and I do that, and I think other people should do that. But to do a Walking Dead game that's just that would be pointless.
I had worries about it when we first pitched it. Any good zombie story is not about killing zombies. It's about the connections with the people. And it took a while for me to wrap my head around how do you make a game out of connections with people.
We sort of had that epiphany of, well, if people are playing for the stories, why don't we make the stories as interactive as possible? And that's sort of where I think choices came from.
You know, we went from a traditional template of adventure, if you will, where it's a point and click, where you exhaust all your options in dialogue before you can actually go on, move on and do something else, where you can gather all the information that you want before you make a decision about the kind of strategy that you want to employ going forward. Whereas in The Walking Dead, we basically said, you know what, we're going to let you make one choice. You can talk about this with this person. This is a one-time deal. You make a decision and you move on. One of the biggest mechanics that we actually did was timed conversation and timed dialogue. That was actually one of those things where we talked about it and we thought, oh, this might not work. This is probably not going to work, but we'll try it anyway. And we ended up trying it and really, really liking it in the pressure situations.
Silence was a really fun challenge because we didn't want the game to stop. In the zombie world, stuff doesn't sit there and wait 10 minutes for you to make a decision.
What if my parents come home?
It really empowers
we're just playing
you to
season
reject
one, but they have a
the
season
things that we
two,
thought. Like
also
when you
where
see
Clementine
3 options,
grows up.
and
With
you're like,
not
I don't
with
want to
Lee.
say any of that. We
Oh.
give you kind of
I think that the concept of intellectual puzzle solving.
Okay, but there's not
kind of
another
drifting
Walking Dead
away
with
as
other
it-
char-
as
other
we've seen in a lot of
protagonists.
adventure
Yes,
games.
and we'll
Also
play
replaced
that
now
as
by this
well, a
kind
little bit of
new
that too in the
emotional
400 Days
puzzle solving.
DLC.
That's what I think of it as. It's kind of trying to sort your way through moral dilemmas and moral puzzles. It's always been a big part of the Walking Dead universe. Again, the fun is in both in writing and reading and watching those characters
But I find it
is
very
putting them into
interesting,
terrible
this whole topic
situations
of like how
and
do you deal
seeing
with your past
how they
and
react.
how do you deal. I mean, in a zombie apocalypse, who would care that you were a convicted felon? But I guess people do
You
care.
think, and you think logically that if we were all trying to survive, the last thing that you would think about is my past as a felon.
Yeah.
Especially
Like you have a common enemy, so we're all bundling up together against
But
it.
this gets into and jiggle your controller so it doesn't. This gets into the conversation of marginalized identities when it comes to somebody who is an ex-felon or who has been in the punitive system or the criminal justice system. Specifically back at home, there's a book, The New Jim Crow, about Michelle Alexander that talks about the colorblind system of the industrial prison system. And it talks about how in America you can legally discriminate against people who have been to prison. So in America, if you've gone to prison before and you have a felony, you cannot vote, you cannot get like student
Yeah,
loans.
you cannot vote. That's crazy.
Literally, you can get denied a job based off going to prison. Like that can be just the grounds of you've been to prison. That's it.
And when you look at the like social scale that prisons are made up of,
Yeah.
it's very similar in Brazil. I mean, I guess in the U.S. it's much worse.
Yeah, no, because the thing about it as well too, when it comes to talking about it from that scale, we had to teach when I was doing lectures in Southampton University, City of God to kids, that film, and there was a caveat of understanding the diaspora of police violence and anti-blackness on a global scale, and how police violence or state violence affects people differently in different ways, but different degrees. So when they were talking about the favela and the kids in those places and how they experienced police violence, I explained to the students that this is a different degree of how we experience police violence in America. And the same goes for the same thing if we talk about like the diaspora in the UK, where it's like hyper surveillance.
Yeah.
It might not be stuff of constantly being killed by the police, but when you're constantly being watched by them and surveyed by them,
Yeah.
which another good book about black racialized surveillance is Black Matter. I believe that's what that one is, where it talks about the racialized standard of state surveillance and how it's focused on like anti-black narratives of like marginalizing, keeping those people in those places and controlling their bodies and how they move through the system. But these are conversations that this game nicks upon, because like how you said, who would give a shit if I was a felon?
Yeah.
If zombies are coming next to me, you know, like you've helped me, I helped you. I don't give a shit if you're a felon.
I find it interesting because now you're giving this whole context. Like my first gut feeling starting the game was like, oh, okay, it's a black man in the back of a police car. He committed a felon. He murdered someone, and it's immediately this stereotype.
This
you know,
motif
we were
that they're
talking about
working
before
off.
picking the game, like how little games there are actually on the market with protagonists, black people as protagonists,
Yeah.
and then. If you look at GTA, which is the only game I played in the past, it's also this stereotype
Yes.
of black male violence.
Yes.
And then in this case, now you're talking, it actually gives me a little bit of a different perspective, because on one hand I was like, oh, this is another stereotype, but on the other hand it brings up a topic that urgently needs to be discussed, and because you're the one making the decisions of like lying about it or something,
it's
actually quite interesting, because it puts you in a position where you have to deal with the consequences of that predicament, let's say.
Because in real life you have to deal with these choices of, we can't lie about our race unless you're like Nellie Lawson's Passing Book or something like that.
Yeah.
But you would have to choose whether you lie about your history as a felon or not.
Sure.
And how that affects your life and stuff like that as well too. But let's continue.
Tell me more about that book.
I give you little like loving breaks and like, get back out there and survive.
I mean, it's all tough content.
So resume.
Yeah.
I want to push you to drinking after this.
Hey, get up.
I'm itchy.
Well, you slept in a barn, little lady. Lucky you don't have spiders in your hair. But I bet your daddy scared them all away, huh?
I'm not her dad.
That keeps,
Name's Lee.
I'm Kenny.
Dad,
The constant assumption.
There's a tractor and everything.
We better get going, or we won't hear the end of it. That's my boy, Ken Jr. We call him Duck, though.
Ken Jr.
Ken Jr.
Where do parents... Duck?
Duck? Yeah, nothing bothers him.
And
Like water
you have
off
very
a
short
duck's
time to make a
back,
choice.
you know?
Like
that's
real
also
life.
good. It's like, no, that's great.
No kidding. But frankly, I think it's because
You know,
he's
you're like,
dumb
wow,
as
you
a
lied, but
bag.
he's also like, ah.
But he makes up for it with enthusiasm.
Duck.
Word is, you were on your way to Macon.
My family's from there.
Well, Macon's on the way, and personally, I'd appreciate the company of a guy who can knock a couple of heads together if he has to.
Sure, we'll
Oh.
tag along.
It's a plan, then. Honey, Duck, this is Lee. And, what's the girl's name?
Clementine.
Clementine.
That is a very pretty name.
It is.
Thanks.
Well, we should get to work. We've all seen what those things can do out there, so the faster we get this fence up, the better.
I want to build a fence.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, I need a good foreman. You can sit on the tractor and yell at me whenever I take a water break.
On the tractor? Cool.
Duck and I will hop to it.
I can keep an eye on your little girl here on the porch. We can visit.
So the constant assumption that you deal with is that Clementine is your daughter, rather than this whole thing of like unpacking non-normative families. So it's constantly like, oh, that's your daughter, that must be your daughter.
Yeah.
Well, no, like, it's not.
Lots of tangles.
So you need to talk to all three sets of people a little bit. You can talk to the wife over there.
You having a nice time with Katya, Clementine?
Yeah.
And you can talk to Katya as well too.
Do you have to go to the bathroom or anything like that?
Lee, the young woman can take care of herself.
Yeah, okay.
And it's this whole thing of him becoming
Hey
a
there,
parent that
girls.
he never was.
So, what do you do when corpses aren't walking around?
I'm a veterinarian back in Fort Lauderdale, like Herschel here, except more with dogs and cats and not horses. What is it that you do, Lee?
I used to teach up at the University of Georgia.
We need to hope that we can go back to our jobs soon, Lee. Back to normal. It can't stay like this.
Florida, somebody said in the chat. Florida.
Yeah, my mistake.
We'll all be home soon.
Okay, I think that was enough. Oh, shit.
Okay, Lee.
So you can talk to Kenny, who's working on the car.
Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
These accents are so
Hey there, Kenny.
I'd love to go to the south of the States.
It's
big-
hot.
Hot.
How's your son doing?
Good, I think. Katya's got a sister up in Memphis. We were coming back from visiting her. We were in a gas station and some guy grabbed my boy. I thought he was kidnapping him. I was on the fucker in about 2 seconds and Christ. Just lucky I was there. We saw a lot of bodies before we stumbled upon Hershel's. We're a tough family, Lee. Ain't nothing gonna faze us.
Ain't nothing gonna faze us.
Ask him every question as well, too,
So
because
what's
I
your
think you have
family's
to
plan?
exhaust everything.
Get back
so
on
you
down to
actually
Lauderdale
follow
and let this
the
mess get sorted out. Government will start handing out shots and the National Guard will do its thing. On the odd chance things got too bad, we could hop on my boat, I guess.
You've got a boat.
Boat sounds good.
I'm a commercial fisherman, catching mackerel,
20
dolphin,
days later, I
whatever's
didn't think
biting
the
and
boat
paying.
idea worked out.
Capture wouldn't be wild about it, but the boat's not that bad.
Deep sea or boat?
Need any help?
No, deep sea or zombies?
No, I think I got it.
I just wouldn't know
you
where to
need
go.
any help?
You see, I learned
What
about
do you
Kenny's
need?
boat.
I mean, in taking care of that little girl. You know what you're doing? You got kids of your own?
I think I've got it handled okay.
Okay.
As long as I keep her safe, I think I'm doing all right.
With those things out there, maybe, sure, that's enough. But you gotta ask yourself if you're the type of guy who can do better than that if her parents don't show up.
Fair
I'll
enough.
keep that in mind.
So this constant questioning of your ability to parent her is something that always will go through people's mind when they meet you, especially if they know that that's not your actual daughter. Whereas if that was your actual daughter, they
People wouldn't even
even question you about that.
I should ask everyone all the questions,
Yeah,
right?
ask her those questions, then you're gonna go to the back and talk to his son.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
You two actually look relaxed.
I think we're doing just fine. Clementine was just telling me about first grade.
Oh, how was that?
It's easy.
Well, yeah.
So if you would
Zombie,
allow
almost the same as Florida.
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 It's almost like we didn't see people eating each other for the past
So if you
3
would have
days.
lied about being the parent and she would have said, I've been in first grade, and he would have said, how's that? That would have looked weird.
Yeah.
Because that was your daughter, right? Like
Yeah.
if you lied about it.
How did you handle getting through the city?
Kenny just drove. We passed so many people that needed help, and we just passed people over some. Just.
It's okay. It's fine. You don't have to say anymore.
I want to go home tomorrow, but even then I can't take away the things Doc went through. Don't you want to go back to the moment before you knew about all of this?
Anybody in their right mind would. Families and barbecues and beers with good friends.
All of those things.
Before COVID.
Those are the things we live for, right? With those gone, what's the point? Back in a bit.
Okay, Lee.
So now you need to go to the back of the house and talk to.
Okay, I'm just in a chatty moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to give me a little. You know, I'm not made for the.
Warn you before it comes.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're not there yet.
Okay.
It's gonna come, but not now. So you can talk to them about the tractor and.
Joy.
This is such a bad characterization of this house.
That'd be great. If you could cut those 2x to length, that'd sure speed things up.
Oh yeah. Get the cutting.
There we go.
Get to work.
My dad doesn't know how bad it is.
No, he doesn't.
I saw a guy in
Gaming-wise,
Atlanta
it's
kill a
very
kid.
slow, right?
A boy.
They
Just
know
shot
ways
him
to
right in
slow
the
it down
face.
to give you time to like recoup and rest, but then like jump you back in.
Was the boy one of the walkers?
I don't even know. He was either attacking the guy or asking for help. He didn't even hesitate. He just turned, put the barrel of the gun right between the kid's eyes, and pulled the trigger.
Damn.
You don't see things like that. It's not like in the movies.
They don't fall like you think.
Did you have to do it?
Do what?
Kill. Have you had to off one yet?
Oh, sometimes it's kill or be killed.
I guess. I don't think I'd sleep good after that. I'm just glad we're getting this fence built. Dad just wants to keep the family safe and thinks inviting people in is a bigger threat than whatever's out there. How about yours? How's your family?
Not too close with the family.
Oh. Well, they weren't in Atlanta, right? So that's good. That's probably all I need cut for now. Thanks.
And Sean, thanks again for the ride.
No problem, Lee. Couldn't leave you behind. Anyway, when you see my dad around, he might want some help in the barn.
Okay, you're going to go to the barn and talk to the father. Then after that, it's going to get a little bit real.
I'm gonna walk real slow.
This is a real world. You can't avoid the problems.
Oh no, I don't want.
Look at you looking at the horseshoe trying to fly away. No, get in there, talk to him. The fence doesn't look too safe. Somebody said in the chat.
No, it doesn't.
That was like 2 pieces of wood they put up. It's like, okay.
How'd you get out of Atlanta?
I was on my way out anyway.
Ooh.
Timing of all this just happened to be right.
Huh, if there ever is a good time for the supposed apocalypse.
This farm's a nice plot of land.
Had you told me 20 years ago I'd still be doing this, I would have told you that you were full of crap. Never was a plan, having a place like this. It was in the family, and I guess so was I. Family's important. It's all that matters. You agree with that?
Was brought up to, yes.
Where's your family now? Parents? Wife? Girlfriend?
My parents are in
I don't
Macon.
know if I have
My brother.
parents in Macon, do I?
Well,
You
hope
do
they're
have
all
parents.
right.
Well,
But now you've got this little girl to take care of. Clementine, is it? You just stumbled up on her?
Yeah, I was looking for help in her house.
are you telling the truth, Aaron?
Can I give you a piece of advice?
Sure.
I want to be all
I don't
cheeky,
know
but I
who
don't
you
think it's
are,
going to help me.
But you better become a better liar, and fast.
Why?
Let's say things don't get better back in the cities, or they get worse before they do. You're going to have to depend on the honesty of strangers if you're going to make it. And if those same people get to questioning yours, you're going to be in trouble. So whoever you are and whatever you did, keep it to your damn self. But at least you have the common sense to listen to a man giving you advice.
Get ready.
I'll get my gun.
Why don't I have weapons in my hands at all times? I don't get that. Oh no! Defense helps something.
Who will you choose?
I choose the little boy.
Help him out some more?
Come
Yep,
on.
you got it? You got it? You're getting more focused, I ain't I feel it. Now watch this.
Oh God, no. Too late. Now we're at it.
Now, I chose to help him over
Yeah.
the boy.
Because he's an adult and doesn't do more.
No.
Well, it is true. If you're going to survive, you don't need another kid, right? Well, some real personality stuff coming out here.
We know who's getting thrown off the boat with you now. I said I chose to help him because I saw what happens when you help Duck.
I'm sorry. Sorry? Your son is alive. You don't get to be sorry. And you didn't even try to help.
I was worried about the boy.
Look at him. But you weren't worried about that. Please, just go. Get out and never come back.
So if you chose to save his son will remember it, but he would still die. But he would tell his father that you tried to help. And so the father would be like,
I owe you something.
I understand, but he still kicks you out.
So in the end, it doesn't matter.
Duck doesn't die though, yeah. So that decision, Duck doesn't die, I don't believe. I don't think there's any way that he can die. But Kenny still saves Duck and says, forget y'all, and runs off. It's okay.
I chose to save the child. Told you that fence doesn't help.
This is as far as we're going.
You chose to save the child.
Oh.
We'll mark that in the record books.
I already get scared watching Stranger Things. I swear, I skipped through the scary parts.
Of course you're going to say the adult.
Oh.
Yo. That also gets into a conversation too about
friendly?
Childhood in video
Truck's run out of
games and its
gas.
representation.
Oh, snap.
Don't worry, this should be the script. For lack of
Oh.
It's okay.
Damn, that should cause some childhood trauma.
And trauma is already past the point where.
Who's this lady?
These are just some more followers.
Oh yeah, she has a gun. She's good.
She actually is the most clutch character in this entire series in the first 2 episodes.
We can't take risks like this. And we can't just let people die either. When I say that door stays shut no matter what, I fucking mean it. We don't know who these people are. They could be dangerous.
Worse, they could have let them right to us.
Where the hell is your humanity?
We have kids with us.
I see one little girl.
What is it?
I have to pee.
I'd go out there again in a second.
In a minute, Clem.
They've got kids, Lily.
Those things outside don't care.
Maybe you should go join them then. You'll have something in common. God damn it, Lily. You have to control these people.
Carly and Glenn just ran out there.
She's the leader here. But it looks like she's losing control of her people.
If you were in my shoes, you'd be the...
I wanted to say something nice, but
He wasn't bitten.
Hell, he wasn't. We have to end this.
this guy does not look nice.
Over my dead body, we'll dig one hole.
No, I'm cleaning him up. There's no bite. He's fine.
Don't you fucking people get it? We've already seen this happen. We let someone with a bite
That's true
stay
in
in,
chat.
and
They'll never
we all
let
end
children
up
be hurt in
bitten.
games off of like
We gotta throw 'em out,
censorship
or
reasons and things
smash
like
his
that
head
as well.
But even in a game that's 18 plus.
Yeah, because that's a major no-no in video games. Like even open
Shooting
world
off
war.
kids and-
Yeah, it's a major no-no.
You need to calm down.
We reason with him.
With the bloody end of an axe handle, maybe. Nobody threatens my boy.
Everyone chill the fuck out! Nobody is doing anything.
Shut up, Lily. And you, shut the fuck up. They will find us, and they will get in here, and none of this will fucking matter. But right now, we're about to be trapped in here with one of those things. What the hell are you talking about? He's bitten! That's how you turn!
He's not bitten. Lee, stop this. It's upsetting him.
Oh, I'm upsetting him. Upsetting is getting eaten alive.
Dad, we get it. It's a big deal.
It's Larry, right? Man, this is his son.
Look around, dumbass. I got a daughter in here. You got a daughter in here. Get your head out of your ass, boy.
We've all got people in here. We can figure this out without killing anybody. There's another way.
Yeah, with a shovel. I'm gonna kill him, Cat. Just worry about Duck.
Lee,
Yeah?
there's someone in there.
It's just locked. Key's behind the counter. Probably.
Don't leave her
Hey,
alone.
I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just looking out for my daughter. No, you're just the guy arguing for killing a kid. He's covered in muck. She'll find the bite. Watch. She won't. And if she does, the first thing he'll do is sink his teeth into his mom's face. Then, once she's dead, he'll probably pounce on your little girl.
It's a little boy. I think we can handle him.
A little boy? He'll be an uncontrollable man-eater. It's not gonna happen. It is.
I didn't get
And
these
we're
conversations.
tossing him out now.
What you gonna do, Tiny?
No! You don't touch that boy. You don't touch anybody. I've got a little girl I'm trying to protect in here, too. You want to get violent, you old fuck? Well, come on!
We did the same thing.
I thought I'm being too nice, you know? Time for some...
I'm being too nice.
Why do I keep doing this?
You got it, Tay. Don't worry. You got it. Oh. The Falling Dead. Okay, look. Yeah, look at her. Look.
No!
Hey. You got it. Don't worry.
Get away from her, you son of a bitch!
Now look at, hey. Go A crazy. Go A crazy. You got it. Go A crazy.
Showing way too much of myself in this episode.
Okay. Pause it right here. You went straight into the labor of childhood or the burdens of childhood is an historical narrative in video games, which this game subverts. And so understand, when you met Clementine for the first time, she was not a burden to you. She actually helped you.
Yeah.
Because she saw the zombie coming for you.
Yeah. And she came down of her safe space.
And gave you that hammer to go to work.
Yeah.
And so there's this whole thing of them playing with this idea of children being a burdens. Like, you know, like
in this game?
Yeah. So Duck constantly caused problems. I don't know if you caught in that last clip, Duck ran over the dude's leg on the tractor. And so Duck also causes more problems, even though it's not his fault. Like, they thought that Duck got bitten, but Duck didn't get bitten. He was just there. But they think that, like, it's his fault because, you know, like, he's a child, he wanted. But Clementine, she subverts that narrative of the entire thing because she not only helps you in the beginning, she guides you in different ways as well, too. So there's this constant thing of childhood in the video game world being played with or teeter-tottered with.
And is that different from other?
Very, very, very different. Because a lot of games, when you deal with children in the games, there's also, they like to call them like, what are they called? Like very like accompany missions, or like missions where you like watch after people, or like, you know, like where you guide people and they don't get hurt. And this happens in a lot of games. Another game that kind of subverts that is God of War Ragnarok, where his son helps you fight as well too. Because an older way of thinking in video game representation, also in thinking of marginalized identities, which children are partly in that way of a marginalized identity, being they don't have the same rights or equal amount of rights as us as adults. They've been historically presented as burdenses in video games.
Okay.
Where this game says children can sometimes be a burden, but they can also be an empowerment to you as a character.
Yeah, it's a more complete representation of the character of the child.
So it's really, really important to understand that that play between Duck and Clementine are those two type of archetypes of children in video games.
What I find interesting, I mean, I haven't played GTA for many years, and it's a very different type of game, but I remember there, you just go on these like, or I was a teenager also a long time ago, just on these like very random violent rampades, or just do whatever, or be rude because you're in a different type of environment, so you get to just
be that person that you can.
And here I have to say, like, although I want to be cheeky all the time, which I wouldn't do in real life, I would be strategic.
You wouldn't do that, right?
But I'm still not doing it in the game because I'm like
repercussions of your actions.
Exactly. It's like, that might get me in an uncomfortable situation.
And with the world of us and the development of that, we also talked about the repercussions of our actions from an ecological sense. Like talking about, like, if you take things out of this digital world, it's not an infinite supply of them, like they run out. Kind of like in Minecraft, where you cut down wooden trees and the trees run out. You don't spawn more trees.
Yeah, it's not this infinite source.
This whole thing of like repercussions of your actions in a digital space are reinforced in ways through like not thinking like, you know, like in GTA, like how you were saying, like, oh, there's no repercussions. I can just run over people and everything too. But in this game, those actions have repercussions.
Yeah, and you're constantly reminded of like, oh, this person is remembering what you say, right?
I remember that. Look, I clocked your ass.
Yeah,
I know what you're
exactly.
saying. Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
So you got to be on it. Yeah, you can go on that.
Where did this zombie come up from?
That's what you killed. So Clementine, remember that you protected her.
Well, she better.
Oh shit!
Busting my ass here.
I'm working 2 jobs. You better remember.
Are there more inside? Oh,
Noise attracts them, so when she shot the gun, I know.
Duck got cleaned up.
Richie Triggerfinger. That was stupid. That was.
And
Yeah.
Larry is a point of antagonism through this thing as well too.
I did try to get him to calm down.
Ooh. Couldn't help myself.
Nitroglycerin pills? Yes, we're out. We've been trying to get into the pharmacy since we got here. Please try to get in there. Behind the counter where the pills are.
Oh, they didn't explain this to you.
Another entrance. Maybe through the office.
How do you know that's an office?
Educated guess.
This is your
Doesn't matter.
family's pharmacy.
We need nitroglycerin pills.
Yes.
Please get in there. I'll keep an eye on my dad.
Oh.
Because
Everyone
he
else
says it
should
in the
get
beginning of the
comfy
story,
and
like
look
my
for anything
family owned a
useful.
pharmacy.
We could be in here a while.
When he was talking to
Starting to think
Kenny
these
in the
drugstores are a
thing,
permanent
if you
solution.
chose to say it.
Right. This ain't exactly Fort Knox.
What do you suggest?
We need as much gas as possible so we can all get out of downtown Macon. Fast.
Agreed.
Then I'll head out and get gas. There's a motel not too far from here, out towards the end of Peachtree. I'll work my way towards it and then loop back, siphoning what I can.
You know your way around? Local?
Born and raised.
If you're gonna do that, here's a walkie-talkie if you get in a tight spot. Hopefully, you won't need it.
Cool.
Clementine's got the other one. Check in with her and get back here as soon as you can.
And you, what's your name?
It's Lily. My dad's Larry.
Keep a good eye on him.
Lily and Larry.
Boys will work on getting you your medicine. And you keep an eye on that front door.
Lily
You're
and
on
Larry.
lookout. Doug, you got it.
And I'm Carly.
Okay, Carly.
Carly
You'll
is
shift
the
in
clutch.
with Doug when he needs
Like-
For now, get some rest.
She's the
You're a
one that
good
started
shot.
shooting, no?
Carly be like, blah, blah, blah.
That would be
Now
me,
get
yeah.
him those
Guns. Or those flamethrower things.
So they asked you to get into the office to get the medicine for the Larry dude. And so a thing about Larry is pretty much a bigot or a caricature of a bigot.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be the point of like
It's not damaged. Glad this
a
place
lot
didn't
of
get
crazy stuff as well too. You need to go around, in the back. Yeah, you're doing it right.
Are there more zombies?
Not more zombies.
Take energy bar. Oh, hell yes. What? One has to snack.
Oh, hell yes, give me that.
Always snack time.
Give me that shit.
Soda
We
fountain.
can't let anything happen to Ducky.
Yeah, ducky. Am I just walking in circles?
Yeah, so you need to go, because you can explore the environment if you want to.
But here is where I need to go.
No, you need to go into the, or try to get into the office, because
What's the office?
they'll go back around. Yeah, keep going this way.
It's just because we have the lights on us, so it's just like, here?
I know, no, so keep going. That's the office right there.
Here.
Yeah, so keep going, yeah, it's going to be on the left-hand side, I believe. And we'll talk to her first, I believe, yeah, about getting the medicine.
How's he doing?
I'm not sure I got your name.
It's Lee.
Lily.
Oh, they should be
My
to the
dad's
right of you,
Larry.
that door.
I was just doing what I had to earlier.
Everyone was.
Now his heart's acting up again and I'm powerless to do anything. And that violence before with my dad, that didn't help.
She blamed you, I don't know why, but okay.
What do you think about all this?
What is there to think? The dead are up, walking around, eating people, and turning them into more of them.
Well, that's what's happening.
Jesus.
We need to stick together and get through this. You're from here?
I work at Warner Robins, the Air Force Base.
Yeah, I know it. Pilot?
Nah, just mechanical admin stuff. I deal with a bunch of shitheads and bureaucrats all day. Sometimes a plane, if I'm lucky. You?
I work up at UGA. Was anyone here when you guys got here?
No, this place was pretty wrecked. We pulled a couple of bodies out of the office.
Because
you
those are your
okay?
parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Did
Well, you
you
don't
know
know, but
anybody
yeah.
here?
Yeah. The owner's name were We were close.
I'm sorry. We found an older couple in the office. Dad hauled them out in case they weren't really dead.
So you can exit this conversation.
I'm gonna get back to him.
Sounds
and
good.
try to go into that door right to your right over here, yeah. Put the cursor over it, yep. And so what you'll also know is with Lily and Larry, they are this archetypal character of like white patriotism in the South. Larry, in another storyline later, goes against Katia, because Katia is an immigrant, if you notice from her accent. And he says something against Katia about like her not being there. And also another thing where Larry says where speak English or something like that as well too. So his bigotness is tied with like all these things. He encompasses that type of like
Door leads to the
thing.
back alley. First aid kit.
You need to go back. Yeah.
Don't I want the first aid kit?
I mean.
And I'm gonna fall over the blood. No?
No.
Not this time.
You're not gonna fall over it this time. Just.
Luckily, there's nothing I need in here.
Go to your right. Yeah, you're doing it right.
Poor Clementine.
Yeah. You're doing it right. Yeah. Go out. Now you need to move that. Yeah.
Oh.
What's that?
This was my dad's cane. He'd zip around here on it from time to time.
Was he sick?
Nah, he was okay. I actually saw him whoop shoplifters with it. This cane's protected this place better than any guard dog ever could. Plus, he knew how to make it look cool. Like you with your hat.
My dad gave it to me.
See, dads are smart like that.
That constant conversation of like parenting.
Being present as a parent.
We
yeah.
gotta clear this door for when we find the keys.
Because he's never been a parent. And so he's learning how to be one with her. And this also gets into a deeper thing of storytelling, which I want to do with the next clip soon in probably like 10 more minutes. Oh, you need to move the desk with her.
I'm gonna keep looking around.
Okay.
So go over to that desk again. This is giving me old Resident Evil
Better get this
camera
door
vibes.
clear, huh?
Can I help?
Sure. Here we go.
They're
Watch your
cute.
fingers in the drawers.
Lee has a nice voice.
We'll see who he is in the documentary footage too.
Yeah, it's not that heavy.
How about with everything outside?
It's not good.
No, it's not.
But I think it'll be okay.
Okay, here we go.
You checked on her. I didn't check on her.
Well, you keep repeating about this parenting thing, so I'm like,
Do you have
know.
kids?
No.
You don't have a family?
I'm still young.
Parents do.
My mom is a doctor, and my dad is an engineer.
Those are good jobs.
What's your job?
I teach history and writing and things like that.
Like, social studies?
Yeah, like that.
Smarty pants.
He's a
You didn't answer my
professor
question.
too.
All right, a little further.
But his felony overshadows all that. So all that other stuff of him being a highly educated professor and everything is just
Why don't you
thrown
want
to
to
the back
talk
'cause
about
he's
your
going to
family? Do they, like,
jail.
hate
Because he
you?
killed the senator.
Because you may be able to tell her right now.
I hope not. It's just complicated, that's all.
Why?
It just is.
But you love them, right?
Who? Because I missed that. It's about the parents?
Look, my family's gone and I just wish things would have been different.
Yeah.
I got into some trouble and I didn't talk to them for a while. This used to be their store. But let's just keep that between you and me,
Oh,
okay?
you told the truth.
Okay. Because of the trouble?
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's get this done.
I mean, it's telling the truth without saying, I murdered someone. There's an in-between. Archie.
Okay?
I hurt my finger.
Is it bleeding?
A little.
Stop being a little bitch about it. No, I'm joking.
Parenting skills are just like all there. Like, just get out.
Hey, there's zombies.
Get out, shut up.
I mean, splinters are hurt even if there's zombies. Okay, we're gonna take care of the girl.
Yeah. So this characterization that they're doing through like exposition and stuff. Oh, get that remote. You need that remote. This is me playing the game and telling you, no, you don't need that remote. Yeah, so go back over it again.
Lee,
Oh.
Yeah?
what if my parents come home and I'm not
Ooh.
there?
What you gonna say?
They'll track us down.
If they come home. I don't know where they are, right? We don't know.
We should keep a lookout.
It's inferred that you know that they're dead
Oh, is
because
it? Why?
Because the voice message in the beginning where her parents, she's like, "We love you," and she was crying and then
Oh, I
hung up.
thought because she couldn't reach the daughter, you know?
No,
I thought it's
and that
because-
could also be like a possibility in the later episodes as well too.
We should be able
But
to find pills for Larry in there.
you're operating off the assumption that her parents are
Let's have a
dead.
look at that Okay. finger.
And so you're kind of like lying to her, saying like, "Oh, they'll find us
Yeah.
again."
Let's see.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought they were in another town and they cried because.
Does it hurt?
Somebody said
A little, not too much.
You sure?
Yeah.
Let's get this cut covered up.
You know what?
Yes,
though, Tanya?
please.
I died. You didn't die.
But you're giving me tips. I'm definitely stressed.
I think at the the
Okay, I want to get the remote.
So you got the remote. Now try to get into that
Here's
door.
the remote
Oh yeah.
to my dad's TV.
The remote to my dad's TV.
Mm-hmm. Try to get into the door, but I believe that you can't. 'Cause
It's
locked.
locked. We need to track down the keys if we're gonna help Larry.
So leave out of this room, and she'll come with you automatically. Oh, you see that photo down there? Pick it up. Now you'll see who your family is.
Aw.
And it kind of skipped over it and let you know that this was his pharmacy. The only reason you would know this is his pharmacy is through that picture.
Find anything?
And
Why did he cut himself out?
because of his past, he doesn't want them to know, kind of.
Just a picture of whoever was here.
I know who you are. You're Lee Everett. You're a professor at Athens who killed a state senator who was sleeping with your wife.
Ooh,
This is your parents'
juicy.
store. Folks around town know the owner's son got himself a life sentence. But I'm a
Okay.
reporter for WABE in Atlanta. I
See,
paid
be
attention to
quiet.
that trial. Maybe you're a murderer, but I don't really care. Frankly, that's a skill that might come in handy. Did you tell anyone out there
Reason.
who you were, or that you were tied to this place?
No, I've been sticking to first names for a reason.
Well, good. You seem like an okay guy, and the last thing we need is drama out there. You've got this little girl to take care of, and look.
His
don't
wife
make me
was
wrong on this.
cheating.
I don't plan to.
Good.
Now I got
Because
it.
if this lasts longer than
With
30
the
days,
senator.
you're a detriment
He
to the
doesn't
group.
seem like the type
We'd
who
have
would
a
then
problem.
kill the guy, though.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it to myself.
How can I trust you?
You can't, I suppose. But you don't have many other options.
True.
She be coming with the real
Yeah.
through this entire thing.
Yeah.
And it's this constant thing of your felony, your past,
Yeah.
being brought up in your face, and it's kind of like, why are you questioning me about this?
Yeah.
At this time, like we're in an apocalypse. Who cares?
Yeah.
Wanna head back into the drugstore with me?
Okay.
Music is
Lee?
really good.
Yes.
You're not bad, right?
Oh, she heard that, of course.
Asking me that.
That lady said you killed someone. Was that because he was one of the things trying to eat you?
It's complicated. Sometimes things happen, or you do things and you can't explain them. Let's head back to the others.
I mean, she's 8, right?
Mm-hmm. So in those real life situations, how would you explain that to an 8-year-old?
It's complicated. It seems like a good
It's complicated. It's complicated.
I murdered a guy who my wife was sleeping with.
It's complicated.
He's got a heart condition.
So,
he takes nitroglycerin tablets pretty
Because of all the bigotry, it makes your heart weak.
needed to go to the hospital.
That's not like the Wizard of Oz. All the bigotry is
I'm just trying to keep him relaxed.
Ooh. What you gonna do?
Oh, that's interesting in the chat.
Most people have done something terrible, actually were traumatized, which isn't an excuse to do terrible things, but an explanation.
Yeah.
It just creates this layeredness of the character, right? And that's the interesting thing. It's like, okay, he's a convicted felon, but you get to know the layers of him as
They
a
start
person.
peeling
Yeah.
it back, yeah. He's a convicted felon, but he's also a professor at a university. He's also like a small town person who has connection to his family. All these things.
It seems like you can.
It's just his way. Don't make him the reason everything's screwed. Where's her mom?
Savannah, I think.
Oh, you guys aren't together.
Oh, no, I'm not her dad. I found her in a house when getting out of Atlanta. She'd been surviving by herself. I think the girl's parents didn't make it.
Oh.
I heard an answering message. They were in Savannah. She was home with a sitter. It wasn't good.
Well, she's lucky to have you. I'm gonna get back to him.
Sounds good.
Hey there. This is Glenn, and I'm kinda in a jam here. Little girl, if you're there, can you put your daddy on the phone? Or on the talkie or whatever?
Oh, it's all the time.
What's up?
So
what the age range is for this game? It's 18 plus, right?
Yes, this is 18 plus. Yeah. ESRB.
I mean, I'm barely holding on. definitely adult material.
What's up?
Glenn's trapped
Just
down
missing
at the
explicit sex.
And if it goes to that range, it gets rated A for adult. So the ESRB rating goes from like E for everyone to A for adult. And there are very few games that they produce nowadays that are A for adult because of like marketing reasons and like it just won't make that much money, and I don't think you can sell it like normal video games too.
Motor in, get Glenn, and get back here as fast as I can.
But the ESRB rating came in with Mortal Kombat, I believe.
I'm in.
Good. Doesn't sound too bad there right now.
Let me know as soon as you want to head out.
Very
I could
interesting
use a job.
format of game. Very different than what I expected. I thought it was going to be this open, like, shoot everything, you know?
Because zombie games are very, very much like kind of framed as that. What we're going to do now is pause and play the second clip where they talk about the voice actors and the importance of the voice actors for characterization as well too, but also a sneak peek at the development team and who they casted for the voices, which I think is very, very important. And then after that, I think we're going to try to sneak in some 400 Days Later after that as well too.
Good.
Very quiet to very loud and angry. This is just a
Hey,
guy
that's
who
him.
life is kind of falling apart for him. And his one
As solid as your writing might be, and as convincing as your animation is, and as well executed as your cinematography is, if you don't have the voice talent to support where you want to go emotionally, you're not going to be able to get there. So we pour a lot of focus into appropriate casting and making sure our casting sheets are developed enough that we can express the range that we want to hit.
Lee was super, super hard to cast for. We actually had a previous guy in there for a while.
And he actually read the entire script. He recorded the entire script.
Really staying the course with our initial recording of Lee probably would have been the sensible thing to do, but there was a feeling that we could push further.
Finding someone that could, not only just take that direction and create this three-dimensional character with it, but also, be able to do all the really draining emotional stuff that was required of Lee, and then the 10,000 lines where you're walking around looking at things and still making it. And it sounds dumb, but like with all the look-ats in a room, like little objects you can click on, finding someone who can actually make those sound interesting is a really hard task.
We landed on Dave because we had worked with him actually in Law and Order, and we had one of our cinematic artists had recommended that we give him a try.
Javier Espinosa. I will always love him.
Like after a week of listening to him, you can't imagine anyone else.
Been on a lot of games, and this one was just different in every way from the moment I started recording. It said it wanted the character to be very, very real. I would need to be able to go from being very quiet to very loud and angry. This is just a guy who life is kind of falling apart for him. And his one chance to redeem himself in his own eyes, not for anybody else, in his own eyes, is to take care of Clementine.
If Clementine doesn't work, the whole game falls apart. And so that was the scariest thing, I think, was casting her. Getting someone who understands the emotional complexities of what's going on with all the characters and being able to also sound like you're a convincing young girl is really tough. We got millions of reads of people doing little kids' voices, or they were actual kids who just didn't understand the subtext of any lines they were reading. And it was a really tough thing to do.
We were sent the first round of auditions through my agency. All of the female characters called to me because they all had their own cool personalities or horrible personalities. But Clementine definitely called to me most. Playing a kid going through a zombie apocalypse, and the kid's not, has to be a strong, put together, independent-ish child, that just seemed like a really cool challenge.
It's weird when you're in the recording studio and you're sitting in a chair and you're not looking at her, you're just listening to her record her voices.
What should we do now?
And you turn your head and look over and you see Melissa there standing and then doing the voice and being into it. That's weird.
Well, when I'm talking, yeah, it's like right here. It's all kind of like...
Instead of like using my chest and my diaphragm.
But with Clementine, I can just go there right now. Like, I think maybe because of all the recording we did, it's stuck.
And I think it will be until the day I die.
The most important relationship is with Clementine, but the second most important relationship is with Kenny, with this guy that it's a love-hate relationship.
I just approached him like, the man from Cormac McCarthy's The Road. And I just tried to envision that guy maybe
he almost looks like
5 or 6 months earlier. He was always about Duck, and it's like, if you're not protecting us, if you're not protecting me and mine, then I'm not gonna like you as much. Underlying in the game, where he'd still be understanding because you'd if you help the kids out or something like that, but if you're helping Lily and Larry, then you're wrong.
Some of my favorite moments are, these conflicts between Lily and Kenny.
This isn't your own personal dictatorship.
See, one of the strengths of the game, I think, is that we put together, I'm fortunate enough to be able to put together such an amazing voice cast. It's a great ensemble.
So, it foreshadows the importance of not only what the end product is, but the work that they put behind the scenes in casting those people. But what I think even more so what makes it topical to us is how we made this conscious decision to have a very, very diverse team to produce this digital asset or this digital world that doesn't exist that much in video games, especially in mainstream AAA titles, because it's you'll see a lot of black and brown or POC faces in the development team when it comes to being voice actors and stuff like that as well, like how you saw in there. But to have them also be the people who code the game, the people who come up with the creative ideas for it, write the scripts for it.
It's all white guys mostly.
Yeah. And it's very, very topical conversation to understand in the development of this game in terms of how the script writers are people who don't align with those experiences in real world, but they're also dictating and writing about those experiences. There was one, when you watch kind of the documentary a little bit more, where they talk about race not being an important factor in Lee's life. So you're more so stigmatized because of your conviction and stuff like that. And then when I read and heard that, I was like, a white person really would think that way. Yeah. Because
they don't see color.
They don't see color, where it's no, I would think also that race is something that I would constantly think about in these decisions as well too.
Of course.
Like, does this man hate me because I'm black? Like, you know, like, does he hate me because I'm a felon? Or like, what does he hate me for?
And you're in the U.S. South, which is also like a whole set of
other problems and things that go compounded onto that as well too. But in talking about this is why I wanted to switch to the 400 Days Later one on this one, because in this one where Lee deals with discrimination based on his identity as an incarcerated person, there's a storyline in 400 Days of Russell where it's just overt racism. It's not even like incarcerated. It's like, we can play it now, I think, and I'll take over on this one. So you did great. Let's clap it up. Because look, I didn't die. I died. So
I had mini heart attacks, but I like. I mean, it's doable. Honestly, I thought it was going to be these, because I think my prejudgment of zombie apocalypse games just is like constant attack and mass shootings and I don't know, this violence all the time. And this, I mean, it's very violent, but it gives you space to breathe. Like you say, there's a lot of story. It's more about the people, and you're actually more watching than actually playing or exploring. Let's say, right? You're like picking up clues and you're learning about yourself and your surroundings. So that's doable. I would have been.
That would have been it.
I think I don't know.
That's it.
I would have made a great impression here to the chat. I think the damage was controlled.
But you know, I also think that when it comes to this
Thank you,
game,
Madeline.
I think with this game as well too, it's only the other thing that's really, really good in the series that I talked about as well is the one that's called, I was about to say Tales of Us, The Wolf Among Us. The Wolf Among Us is a really, really good shout in terms of like a game that they do, because they deal with like discrimination and things like that as well. But they deal with it in a format of fairy tales and tale characters, like those Grimm brothers, but they live in New York.
Nice.
And so it's like a wolf who's a hard-boiled cop dealing with like fairy tales that live in the inner city with like real problems of like drug abuse, infidelity, like murder, bills piling up and stuff like that as well. And they deal with like a deeper conversation of it. But I thought it was important for us to do this one, being that like there's overtly a black protagonist that they deal with, rather than the metaphor of characters and stuff like that as well. I believe this is, so you can see previews of how deep it gets afterwards.
Was there criticism on like the topic and the profile of Lee and the fact that it's a mostly or all white team developing it? Was there any
notable criticism?
It came out 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. So like criticism did exist amongst it, being that people still in the video game industry called for more mainstream representation of black and brown identities, or like marginalized identity people from like, whether it be like gender representation or sexual representation too. And it's a constant thing of them calling for it, and a lot of it is starting to shift. This is the most AAA titles that have had black and brown protagonists in them that have been released in the last couple of like large gaming showcases. But it's still this thing of like a development team that is very, very much like white who are making them. But then I believe that the second in command in Microsoft, her name, it's a black woman, I can't remember what her name is, but she's kind of like geared up to be the next CEO of it too. So I think this will be probably like the first time that they've had
Kamala
like
Harris of Microsoft.
Pretty much of the video game industry, like of a black woman leading like one of the big.
Yeah, sure, that's huge.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's changing a little bit, but it's also that thing of, and I believe Microsoft also publishes its like racial and gender employment makeup as well too. So you can go on their website and see how many people who are black and brown are employed in Microsoft. in like the ratio, but they don't break down what roles that they work as well too.
Yeah, because that's also a thing, right? Where you have like you say, okay, voiceover actor, but who's making the actual decisions, or where are the higher paying salaries going to?
Yeah, stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So in this one, this is like everybody is connected to. It's the same story, but it's a gas station that everybody's connected to, and there are
This
different.
is the same Lee story. We're in the same universe,
the same
right?
universe and everything, but they're a gas station that is a central point in which all 4 characters are connected through.
Okay.
And you get to choose which character you want to go through through all these. But we're going to choose Russell for the first one and try to get in some tidbits with him. Because there are some things...
And where did we go now? Because we were in episode 1 and now we moved to...
A DLC of this game.
What does that mean?
A downloadable content of it. So this came out after the game was released.
And that's also playable?
Yeah.
Okay. It would be like a spin-off or something? Okay.
Yeah. And so we're playing as Russell now,
I see.
who is one of those people that kind of are connected to this gas station. And I'll say, I didn't play this one. I only read about this one. But we're going to try to get in some zombie racism before we...
Oh yeah, because there's the zombie racism. God.
Jesus.
As if either one of the options is not already bad enough in itself.
Oh, and AAA gaming means big budget gaming as well
Yeah.
too. So think of AAA gaming as like the blockbusters of video games, like Halo and like all those things as well. Whereas we played a more indie game, Never Alone, last time. So what do? I'm gonna stay my ground.
Okay. Good for you, Russell.
Maybe I can get a ride. This is stupid. Maybe I
Pretty stupid.
Give me a ride.
I mean, you are tired.
Bang! That just killed you. You're either stupid as fuck or you think you're tough shit. Or both, I guess.
I don't want no trouble. Please.
Standing out here like this ain't gonna get you nothing but trouble.
Just leave me alone, please. I'm not hurting no one.
How do I know that? Maybe you're just walking this highway looking for some tail. You're gonna end up hurting somebody. Maybe killing you right now does our troubled country some good. But honestly, I ain't no do-gooder. I'm gonna let you live. Okay. So you have some balls on you just standing there like that. You get killed eventually. Ain't none of my business.
I won't.
What's your name?
Asswipe.
I was gonna say you look like an asswipe. Asswipe ain't got any manners. Mom of Asswipe didn't teach him any manners. But maybe she named you Russell, and you didn't lose the manners till later in life. Unless you stole that bag. I don't care who you steal from, if you did. Maybe you're in a gang that likes to rob people. I don't know. Are you in a crew? You got some boys wearing hoodies I gotta worry about?
Not in a gang. It's fucking racist, man.
Hey, now, I ain't no racist. I just call them like I see them. Just get in the car. You're gonna get eaten out here otherwise. Come on. Scoot.
Nah, I'm good. Thanks. I don't want to ride.
Jesus. Don't be so damn sensitive.
I said I'm good.
Fine.
So this game overtly deals with discrimination based on race, rather the other one is kind of like implied.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get in the car with the racist guy now?
Change your
Between the
mind?
racists and the zombies?
I think so.
Can you get me to Statesboro?
Let's find out. Get in.
Okay.
Hell yeah, get in. Let's tear it up.
It is a delay. I get what you're saying,
Name's Nate, by the way. Thanks for asking. You thirsty?
Look at his face.
Here you go.
I don't want that shit.
This shit? You don't know what you're talking about. I damn near died procuring this. I got a half a mind
Don't
to
drink
make
and
you
drive,
try.
You can't make me
Don't
do
drink
anything.
and drive.
Okay, tough guy. We both know that ain't true, but okay. Do you some fucking good. You want to tell me about where you come from, at least? Must have been with a crew.
Gross.
Tail back where you come from. Maybe drop you off. Do a double back.
Dude.
Yeah, he's a scummy.
Can we just drive?
We? You want to sit on my lap?
I just don't want to talk.
You're a tough little nut, Russ.
Very interesting. It's like a movie, but then you game with it. But it's almost more movie than game.
Look,
It
man,
blurs
I'm
those
sorry
lines.
Very
to
much.
freak you out at first. We all got our way of coping with shit, right? I guess I can come across a bit... whatever.
I guess.
There you go. Relax. We're gonna have some fun. Why don't you tell me where you were before you got here?
Fine. There was 7 of us. I didn't have any family there or nothing. They were all at my grand's down in Statesboro. There was a dad who had a daughter about my age. One guy said he used to be a cop, but nobody really believed him. Then a teacher and his wife. Leader was this guy, Steve.
Go back to the daughter.
Steve was a bad dude, but everybody was with him, you know? He said 7 was the magic number, so we didn't add nobody to the group. If we found survivors, it was the same every time.
Let it out, Paco.
Just, we gonna kill these folks and take their stuff or what? Then bang, they'd be dead. Anyway, I couldn't handle that. After weeks of it, I packed my shit up and figured I could make for Grands alone and try to find my family. I slipped out of there. I couldn't live like that.
So nobody got down with the daughter then?
No, they didn't.
What would you give her? Strong 6? Just tell me something about her. How was the rack? Give me a little something. Just a taste. Russ, I'm doing you a service here. I gotta get my beak wet. I'll put it right in here.
You're fucking rude, man.
Asswipes giving me fucking manners lessons? Let's try again. Alright, maybe someone who wasn't so near and dear to your heart then.
What the fuck?
Come on, scale of 1 to 10. What do you think? Slamming before she was rocked, right? What do you think? Here, get a look. Fuck! Like a 9, right? Get off me! Maybe you got high standards. If you say 5,
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
tell me, Russ. Jesus, Russ, calm down. Damn it. Would you load that? Bullets in the glove there.
So you meet this scummy person in the middle of the apocalypse.
And you stuck to them. You can also shoot him and steal his car.
Oh, Jesus, Tommy.
Eat or be eaten.
It's just the true you. It's just
Look for some supplies in here. See if we can fill up while we're at it. Don't be mad. Fine, be mad. Just stop being a pussy.
Alright.
Oh shit! Go! Get out! Ross! Get the fuck down, man! You don't want to be there! Get to the truck! I'll cover you!
He doesn't have a gun.
You got bullets this time?
Don't think about it. Just run. I'll keep his fucking head down.
Who's shooting then?
No cover fire.
That's why I can move.
What happened to I'll cover you?
Look how good you did.
I don't know, man. Fuck, we're screwed.
You haven't been shot at in 3 months? Come on, kid, look at me. Russell, get your shit together. There is no getting out of this right now, okay? Okay. Now help me out here. first, we're gonna figure out exactly where this asshole is. Just get a quick glance. Get down! See? Easy. Now we know where he is, we can fucking get him.
Alright.
Oh, I died.
You died?
Yeah. Oh, I died.
You're supposed to be the expert. I'm joking. Because you looked up.
Oh, I think the
You
game's
got
glitching
shot.
now, too.
See? Easy. Now we know where he is, we can fucking get him.
So we're in the eternal glitch of me dying.
What's
Aw.
going on?
Yeah.
See? Easy. Now we know where he is.
Yeah, it's like an eternal glitch of me dying.
See?
That's annoying.
Easy. Now we know where he is.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, come on.
Well, let's just pause that.
You are dead. Continue. What happens if you're dead and you continue?
It just keeps happening.
Oh, no.
But I mean, like, the reason why I think also the DLC was important to include on it as well is because, like how I said, Lee in the other one, he dealt with discrimination from like various angles, from him not being seen as Clementine's real father, his incarceration, and possibility of his race. Where in this one, Russell, when you were getting into a car, he's asking you if you were in a gang.
Yeah.
Do you have friends who wear hoodies?
Yeah.
Like all types of stuff, like killing you would be a scum, you know, like getting rid of America, making America great. These hints of like this overt racism that
Yeah.
you're dealing with is something that a lot of video games don't even touch upon.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a chance to get to the portion when you get in there.
Because you died.
Yep. That's gonna always be the, you die. We didn't get a chance to get to it, but when you get in there, there's an older couple that's like shooting at you.
Okay.
And the man who's shooting at you calls you a spook, which is an older racial term that we were literally like looking up like before, because I knew it was a racial term, but I didn't know the origins of it or anything like that. But it came from like the Second World War and the Tuskegee Airmen, and what white people were calling, white army men were calling those Tuskegee Airmen who were a part of the force, the Air Force. And so this whole thing of like dealing with overt racism in a world where you're literally trying to survive the apocalypse. Like, you know, like, it's kind of like...
The world will end, but racism won't. That kind of vibe.
Yeah, that kind of like vibe of like, wow, no matter...
Having to deal with that, like you actually chose to not get into the car with him. You're like, fuck this guy. But then you don't have a choice, right? So...
You're forced to deal with people you don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Or even on a bigger level of thinking about like racism, or thinking about just in general being in that situation of dealing with those type of people, whether it be somebody who is like racist, xenophobic, sexist, or transphobic or something like that, and you're all forced to live together or to survive, you have to just grit it and deal with it. I mean, realistically, we weren't that far enough away from it with the pandemic that actually just passed in terms of like dealing with the pandemic and the racial implications that were on top of it, whether it be like the lack of access to services to black and brown people, specifically like in like the UK, there was a thing where the nurses in the NHS were not being taken care of. They were dealing with patients on the front lines and all these type of things, or the disproportionate amount of people that were getting access to like testing or the care that they needed when the COVID was going on and everything too, or misinformation being targeted towards black and brown communities of saying that this vaccine is like not for you or something like that as well too. Like this whole thing of like a racist structure on top of like real world
apocalyptic events.
And then the deeper conversation of like these marginalized identities that never, or these stories that never get to be told in a digital world or in a video game, because things like this have never really been talked about in the video game world. People may talk about them from like a development standpoint, or like getting more black and brown people or marginalized people in those positions to make the games, but to represent them and be seen on screen, it rarely ever happens. And when it does, they rarely ever deal with the conversations of race or racism or things like that. And then that's just race, but then sexism and things like that also, or transphobia or classism also are things that are just not really like.
And why do you think that is, if you look at cinema, for example, where those topics are widely discussed and represented and exhausted, and, you know, like what would be what is your perspective on the main difference between those two industries and the representation of these narratives?
I think a cinema is still, it had time to mature.
Longer.
Yeah, and people see cinema as an art form or artistic expression, where video games are still maturing in that place of artistic expression. And therefore, before that, people coined video games as a all-boys zone, like our all-boys tech place where that doesn't, like, real conversations don't happen there, things like that. Where
supposed to just be fun.
Yeah.
And then ignoring all of reality.
But like how you were saying, like you were expecting this game to be like, oh, zombies, this is blood everywhere. But we were presented with a caricature of complex people that had to deal with like multi-layered issues of incarceration, parenting, racism.
Lying,
Killing duck.
Killing duck. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, it's interesting to think of, like you say, like the video game industry that hasn't had that time to mature into these topics yet. And it for the little bit that I got from it, because this is probably a very long game, no? How many hours is it?
So we only got, and we didn't even finish the first episode.
Yeah.
But the first episode is probably like an hour. And then so there's 5 episodes in that season, but then there's 5 more in season 2 where Clementine grows up.
Yeah.
And I won't spoil the game for you.
Yeah.
But like major things happen where she has to begin to mature and then take care of herself. And be the person who's like making all the decisions and stuff like that as well. And I think that that's something that if you play a video game, if you're in and out, but with this game, we really had time to like fall with the characters and like be bonded with them.
Literally a couple of times. No, yeah, that's interesting. You do create a bond with the characters and the choices you make and where your loyalty lies, and it's a very interesting way to approach. Also, I mean, if I think about the development of it, like writing a script like that with so many options and so many consequences, like complex, interesting.
So, how would you grade this game and your experience of it all together?
I really liked it. I would not play it alone. I'm just too, like you saw me, I get too nervous, but I really liked it. I mean, it's super well made. I love the graphics of it. It's, I thought the controls are a bit clunky.
Yeah. So
is that a thing?
Yeah. So the controls, it's like that point and click type of narrative or structure or gamification that you have to get used to.
Yeah.
I think you would really enjoy The Wolf Among Us, which they also make as well, which is like the same art style and everything. It's kind of gritty, but not like as much as this one is.
Because it's also human characters, so you get into that.
Yeah, but I think that one would be something that you could also get into because it's like playing a movie. That's the best way.
No, it's really nice. I'd never experienced anything like it, so I loved it.
Well, we
Thank
only
you.
have a minute left. That's it.
Thank you for picking this one. I really like it.
Well, then that's it. So next time, we'll be back.
We're going to still choose what we're going to play.
It's going to be like Pokemon next time, so you can...
Yeah, we went from Never Alone, like super cute, beautiful, soft, pastel-y colors, and Inuits, like song and lore and some spirits, to just hammering the dead. But really interesting conversation and really interesting perspective, and I'm very excited about what the next time is going to bring. I'm slowly going to become a gamer. You watch me.
Let me catch you on Twitch after this doing more stuff.
And
bop.
Thank you everyone for watching.
See ya.
See you next time.